tracking spreadsheet that I use, obviously devoid of my contacts. So just give me your business card, put on the back spreadsheet, and I'll be happy to email it to you. And as Steve said, I wrote a couple books. One is about paper management, which talks about getting just your paperwork, systems, processes, and procedures in place. And the second one is on creating systems, which is a little bit like what we did here. It'll teach you the golden process that I use to create systems for clients. And so if you're interested in that, of course, I'll be happy to talk to you about it. Let me know. After the show, I'll be around, so if you have questions that you didn't really feel like asking in front of the whole group, I'm happy to answer them then. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What do we do with this bad boy, Jason? Just set it down? Okay. So, thank you, Reagan. I sure do appreciate that. Now, we've figured out how to sort and qualify. We've figured out how to organize. Now I'm going to show you how to make money. We've come to this point on how to make money from your existing contacts. That's the whole basis for this talk, right? Here's where you start to manage them. You've come up with your top 20%. What you need to do is you need to become a person of value to your A's and your B's. Now your C's, I'm not a big fan of, I call it dragging a dead dog, because imagine a huge Great Dane and you're just dragging them and that wears on you. After about 3 steps, that's no fun. Your C contacts, you're going to want to obviously spend less time with. And here's how I break it down. Your A contacts. My A contacts, and most of the successful salespeople that I have polled, and there have been dozens of them that I polled in preparation for this speech, have said that their A contacts will give them between 5 and 10% of their business. Now think about what that means for you. I asked all of you to think about that. Think about that for 2 seconds. How much is 10% of your business? That means one of your A contacts is probably giving you about that much of your business. On the low end, 5%. That contact's worth a lot of money. That's $3,500 to $5,000 minimum that contact is worth. You want to show them that they're important to you. They are important to you, right? So what I do is I make sure, absolutely without question, I touch base with my A contacts every month. And that's even if I take a 3-week cruise to Barbados or something. I'm still going to touch base with my A contacts once during that 30 days. No matter what, I never go more than 30 days. Most of my A contacts I touch base with a couple times a week, typically. But as a minimum, once a month. Your B contacts. Your B contacts, for me, represent about 2 to 5% of my income. 2 is a way low end. Usually about 3 to 5%. Now think about that. Quantify that. What does that mean for you? What's 5% of your income? Remember, you got those numbers in your head. That person's worth maybe that much money. That's a lot of money. On the low end, worth 3%, that's a lot of money. You want to have a lot of A's and B's in there. How do you manage them? Okay, spend time with your B's. I, on the other hand, spend every 30 to 60 days, will touch base with my B's. At least, minimum. Most of my B's, it's like every 3 weeks. But as a bare minimum, every 30 to 60 days. Now this is a broad overview, and then we're going to get back in depth to it and get a little more granular. The C's. These guys are people who, like I said, you've just met, they haven't given you a contact, or they've slipped down to a C, or maybe you've known them for a long time, just never gotten a referral from them. I will typically meet with them 2 or 3 times within about 2 months to try and get them to a B contact. Because a C contact is worth what? How much is a C contact worth to you if they've never given you any referrals? 0, right? There was 0. How much are they worth to you if you can get them up to 2%? Think about that. If you're making $70,000 a year, 2% of that's $1,400. If you take this person out golfing and to lunch and to a happy hour, would you spend $100? And you might make $1,500 off them that year. And don't misunderstand me. I'm not suggesting you use your contacts. I'm suggesting you work with them. But in working with them, if you can make $1,500 off a $100 investment, man, Wall Street needs to learn how to do that. You need to go to Wall Street and teach those guys how to do that. That's a great investment of not only your time, but your money. So your C's, I would recommend for the first couple of months, touch base with them 2, 3 times. After that, if you can't turn them into a B, I touch base with them about every 3 to 4 months. Just kind of check in with them. Hey man, how you doing? Just calling to see what's going on. Anything new happening in your world? you still want to make these people feel as if they're important, because they can in some place be important to you. They're still on your contact list for a reason. The other thing you want to do, you want to let them know how well connected you are. I don't name drop. I'm not a big, I hang out with the mayor. I'm not a big name dropper. Sometimes when people bring it up in conversation, what have you been doing? Oh, I had a big appointment the other day, and it kind of gets into it. And I was meeting with the mayor and some other people. And let these people know how well connected you are. Let them know how valuable you can be to them if they are interested in becoming a B contact. If they start probing, well, can you introduce me to the mayor? Bingo, you've just got someone who's potentially a B contact and can potentially make you $1,500 to $4,000 richer this year because they know that you happen to know someone they're interested in meeting. That's easy. Let them know they're important. Let them know how well connected you are, but don't throw it in their face. Don't constantly bombard them with, oh, I know this person and this person and this person. In contacting them a lot, you're also going to let them know how much you care about them. When I contact my A customers every week or so, they know that I care about them. They know that I have a vested interest in their success. So, how are some ways to stay up on their trust curve? Everybody remembers what the trust curve is, right? Time, attendance, referrals. Some ways to stay up on the trust curve. Call them. Touch base with them. Email them. If you're my best friend, text. I'm a texter, but just not that much. Golf. Golf is a great one. If you golf with somebody, you've got 4 hours designated where they are your golfing partner, and you're in a cart with them, and you've got a captive audience. If you don't golf with them, go fishing with them. Ladies, go shopping with them. Take them out to the Bed Bath & Beyond. Take them out to Bath Junkie. Go shopping with them. You'll have 2 hours where you can find out what they are interested in. Let's see. What else can you do? Ladies, what are some other networking things that you can do with your lady clients, your female clients? Wine, yeah, beer and wine, always another good one. What's that?
Trunk shows and stuff.
Trunk shows.
Like when a designer or a business is selling the stuff or something.
Fellas, who knew what a trunk show was? Any fellas in? Jim, I'm not going to ask how you knew that, but I'm not going to even pretend that I knew what a trunk show was, but okay, thanks for the tip. Find a way, especially with your A and B contacts, find a way that you can get them for at least an hour and just be with this person on a business level, on a professional level. You remember form, right? Family, occupation, recreation, money, market, movies, music. Whatever you want to talk about, who, what, where, when, how, and get into their lives. Make them more valuable. Make yourself more valuable to them. This will increase the amount of money that you can make just as a result of knowing them. And just because they go, hey, Gary, I met some guy who's moving into San Marcos. He's going to need some advertising. He's just starting up his company, and I told him that most companies that start up fail because they fail to advertise. Is that a good lead for you? Yeah, that's a good lead for you. And how did this happen? Because I went for beer with Gary. Oh, no. Oh, we had a beer and discussed it. That's terrible, right? But you grew your business as a result of that. So make sure, touch base with your A's every 30 days, minimum. They are important to you. Your B's, make sure to touch base with them every 6 to 8 weeks. Your C's, 3 to 4 months. Try and pull them into a B. Now let's think about this for a second. Really quantify this. An A contact. I have 2 A contacts that accounted for almost 25% of my business last year. So let's think, just kind of quantify that for your terms. If you had 2 A contacts that were worth 25% of your business. If you have a B contact that's worth 5% of your business, and you could get him up to 10% of your business, how much more money would you make? Think about that. How much more money would you make? What do you have to do to turn that B contact into an A contact? You have to show them that you're relevant. You have to show them that they're relevant. You have to not only be a good fit for them, but they have to be a good fit for you. This is not hard to do, but it takes time. This is the reason you got rid of your D's. Don't spend time with them, period. Don't spend time with them. Hey, if they want to spend time with you, fine. But stop investing the energy in that because it's making you nothing. Same thing with the C's. If you're scrolling down your list and you're taking a C out for lunch once a month, stop doing it. Take this person out to lunch maybe once every 4 months. Start investing that time in a B. Turn those B's into A's, and that's where you're going to make your money. It's great that you've got A's. The A's already want to network with you, okay? Manage the relationship, but they already get, if I give Jim a referral, he's going to give me one. They get it. The B's is where you're going to make your money. That's where you're going to double the amount of income that that person brings to you. You turn 2 B's into 2 A's, and you've just increased your income, I guarantee you, by 10% that year. And what did you do? You took them out to lunch. You emailed them a couple more times. You sent them a handwritten card. Here's something that I love to do. For Christmas, I like to send out briskets. I like to send out big bouquets of flowers. Man, and I don't mean like a little bouquet of flowers. I mean like a $200 bouquet. You guys ever seen like a big $200? Yeah, people walk in and they go, Jesus, somebody die? Where did you get that? But it's always an attention getter. And so for my A contacts, I like to do things like that for Christmas. You can do things like that on their birthdays too. I know a guy Scott Ingram, who every time he has a meeting with someone, he asks what their birth date is, and people just kind of think whatever. But he writes that down, and on their birthdays, he'll send them a card. Might not hurt to know that he's also one of the most successful salespeople I know. That really works for him. So with your A contacts, be sure to manage the relationship to something, with something to show the customer that they're valuable. Any questions on that? Any ideas? Anything that you guys do that I didn't mention to add value to your customer relationships that you'd like to share? Send them on a trip to Hawaii? Or?
When I send them on a trip, I make sure I call them before they come back. But like, depending on the value of the trip, I mean, I had a client that does like 5 trips a year. So when they go away, in their cabin, they have wine and stuff and strawberries.
Oh yeah, that's a nice touch. So that's another thing that I do that I didn't mention. If I know someone who's getting married or just got engaged, I'll send them a bottle of champagne. What is that? I mean, what does that cost you? $30 with shipping? But it's a great touch. So whenever you talk to your A's and B's, let them know that they're important. Here's another thing. Ask them how you can help. Reagan and I always have a battle over this because she always tries to outduel me. How can I help you? How can I help you grow your business? What can I do to help you? That question alone, just asking somebody goes, whoa, this person wants to know how they can help me. So let them know that you're genuinely interested. Yes, ma'am. Oh, did I tell you where I work? 3801 South Capitol Texas.
And just, you know, it does make them remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talk to them about, you know, well, what do y'all need from me? How can you help their patients? You know, what's working for you? Do you need referrals? You know, prescription pads? Do you need nurses to the offices?
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know, they don't have any phone number on them. I bring gifts. But also, just talk to them. I would
Mm-hmm.
thank them for the patients they refer to us. That's more than here's our numbers, here's our therapist numbers. If you have any call consultation, please call directly to the therapist and talk to them about the patient. And so, it just, first behind that, we make a big difference. And just remember our presence.
Yeah, that sounds like a very personalized service. So something else that I do, I compete in the Austin Salsa Festival every year, and a couple of times I've won 3rd place. So something that I will do, if I know there's an office full of guys, I will bring a big batch of salsa, and it's not your kid's salsa either. I'll bring a big batch of salsa, stuff that'll make your face turn red, and I'll sit there and watch them eat it, make fun of them, and it's all a good time. Everybody enjoys it. Something else that you can do, this is kind of a little side note, but something I have done. I get a little jar of hot sauce because nobody drinks hot sauce. It'll sit on your desk for a long time. And I'll make a custom label for it. And I go to Jardine's in Bastrop and I get their nuclear atomic, gonna burn your tongue off hot sauce. And I will send it to someone and say, if your phone company makes you as hot as this, you need to give me a call. And it's gonna sit on their desk or sit at their house. And I know their phone's gonna screw up on them while they still have that. So it has worked for me in the past. Anyone else have anything that they do? Yeah.
I would just suggest, one of the reasons that I come to referrals, who referred me when I think them is that if I refer somebody a bunch of business and I never hear back from them how it went, that is an area
Yeah.
that they're not helping the people that I send them. And so what happened, had a meeting, it was great, wow, we kind of did this to the office, thank you so much. But I'm going to update him on his status about referrals, so that he knows I'm taking care of it, I'm on top of it, and he can send referrals to me. If I just send somebody referrals and they sort of go off in the ether and I have to go ask him, hey, what happened with that? Oh, yeah, I think we're going to have a meeting, that concerns me. So I really recommend always following up with the person.
That's good. Yeah, if someone sends you a referral, yeah, always follow up and let them know how it went. Yeah, we've got a meeting scheduled. This happened. Thank you very much. It entices them to send you more referrals. You know, people get an intrinsic value. I get an intrinsic happiness when I help you close business. That makes me happy. And so for you to call me and let me know, hey, we got an appointment with them, that also makes me happy. So now, we've talked about how to help the other person, but you also don't want to leave that meeting with your A's and B's without saying, oh, and by the way, if you know someone with a BlackBerry and they're not with T-Mobile, that's a good lead for me. Just plug yourself. Make sure that you're, getting something out of it. Don't be a total giver. Now, let's see. We are right at 1 o'clock. I have 5 minutes left to talk. If anyone wants to leave now, is there anyone who needs to leave right now? You need to leave? Would you mind filling out the survey? Please be honest. And if you could do something for me, all of you, whenever you're filling out this survey, when you leave, put a little asterisk at the top. Several of you have been here for all 3 meetings. Write down, or even 2 meetings, write down the one thing that you got out of this that was the most important to you. That would really benefit me. So something about online networking. I'm going to talk about one thing in particular, and that's LinkedIn. A lot of people get on LinkedIn and they don't really know how to use it for their personal gain, and LinkedIn really isn't designed to be used for personal gain. Here's a couple of little tips that I use how to manage your database, okay? A lot of people, see you Barbara, thank you. A lot of people use Twitter. Twitter's a passive thing, you have to follow someone. With LinkedIn, I don't know anyone who doesn't sign up for the weekly updates, and so you're always getting something about what is this person doing. There's a little section on LinkedIn that will say Jim is. What is Jim doing? Well, in my case, if I'm reading a book, I will write Steve is reading Marketing Warfare. Steve is giving a speech at the San Marcos Chamber of Commerce. Steve is taking a vacation. Steve is going tubing with his friends. Here's the great thing about that. It will give you a little posting on there that will say, Steve, you posted this 9 days ago. Once it gets to double digits, 10 or 11 or 12 days, I change it. And so 3 times a month at a minimum, people are getting little prods and little updates on exactly what I'm doing. Now, for your A's and your B's, people who are pulling in your direction, that's a little reminder, hey there, just to let you know I'm still here. I'm just reading a book and just wanted to give you a touch. So that's one way that I use LinkedIn to stay at the top of people's minds. Another way to use LinkedIn, Dan, what is it that you do? CPA. So do you actively pursue companies, or do they mostly come to you? Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Excellent. Mm-hmm. But you're going after them now. Mm-hmm. Now let's say that you are going after Thermon, or anyone in this room. Everybody in this room knows who Thermon is, right? Huge, big international company based here in San Marcos. Dick Burdick's the owner. If you need to know Dick Burdick, you can go on LinkedIn and type in Dick Burdick, and it will show you who of your contacts is linked to him, whether it's 2 down or 3 down, or who's linked to Thermon. Now that's easy, because if Reagan knows Dan, who is connected to Dick Burdick, I've got a pretty good relationship with Reagan, who can refer me to Dan, who can then refer me to Thermon. We need to chat. No, I'm just kidding. So that is just a way to use LinkedIn. If you're actively pursuing a company, search for them, because chances are, if you've got a big enough network, or if I'm part of your network, chances are someone in my network will know them. So we have, let me think, I'm pretty sure we're done. Yes, we are done. Does anyone have any questions about how to use their current database to make more money? Did I make that crystal clear to everybody? Yeah? Anyone uncomfortable with anything that I spoke about? Everyone's okay? I urge you, because you've got this momentum, and a snowball rolls downhill, but it stops rolling when it melts, okay? You've got a little momentum. Use this momentum, whether it be tonight or this weekend. It's going to take you probably an hour to 3 hours to organize your database. Once you get it done, it's easy after that. It's like 10 minutes a month. But spend 10 minutes a month looking through your database and organizing your database, because this is how you're going to make your money. So over these last 3 series, I've really enjoyed talking to you guys, and I hope that you've gotten value out of it. I've really enjoyed speaking to you, and thank you very much.